What is going on, everybody? We are back with another episode of Winning the Week. We are here for week 4. Mitch, what's going on, man? It's National Coffee Day, I believe, for all that celebrate.
It's good. I already had my coffee, got it in already. I have my Rockstar ready to go. Dude, like I was saying at the beginning of last week's show is, hey, point scoring's going to be up in the NFL. We had 7 or 8 games over like a 45-point implied total. I think we have 4 this week above 45 points and 1 edging that 50 with the Commanders and the Cardinals. It's another one of those like, in a normal PPR league, if you break 100, you have a decent chance this week.
Some of the scoring, like I'm going through, like, you put your lineups in, especially us for your dynasty leagues, and you look at your projection. And in some of these typical 12 team start 10, you're going through and you're like, okay, projected for like 160 at least. And you're like, okay, feel pretty good. And this year it's like, if you're projected for 140, you're like, this isn't too bad. Well, let's get into it here. Let's get into it. If you're watching live, we appreciate you. Drop a comment after the video, #theory, and then make sure you hit that like button. And then I'm sure Ray and JR, they'll be giving away some free merch if we hit 100 likes here. So here we go. We got Kev. Appreciate you, Kev. We got Jordan Love or Baker Mayfield.
I'm really hesitant on Jordan Love.
I am as well.
I just think the rushing upside isn't there at all. And that Vikings defense is literally the best defense in the NFL right now. So it's why play him if you don't have to this week? So it's definitely going to be Baker. And I'm not scared that Jair Alexander's news just came out. He is not playing this week. So that means Darnold is a really strong play. And I probably would have played Darnold over Love in the first place. And now that news comes out now, like Jefferson's going to go off for 150.
Like in typical settings, I believe it's +4, -2. The Vikings, they're giving up less than 12 points per game through the air. So obviously not taking into account the rushing ability and the rushing points from these quarterbacks. But Jordan Love, for me, it's an easy sit whenever you have options like Baker and Sam Darnold. So the question is Love or Baker, and then Love or Darnold. What is the upside with Jordan Love? For me, it's nothing but downside this week. And it's not anti-Jordan Love. Mm-hmm. It's just coming back from the injury. It's, certainly beating the timeline that was expected with how bad it looked initially. But I can't get on board, like you said, against Minnesota. I can't do it. So give me Baker, give me Darnold. Patrick's been in here every week. We appreciate you, man. GMGP, good morning, good people. Caleb or Carr, +4, -2 scoring. I can't go with Caleb. I'm sorry. I can't. I know I upset a lot of people, but I cannot go with Caleb. I just can't do it.
Dude, the funny thing is we talked about the matchup with Love, and hey, he's going against a very hard matchup against the Vikings. Caleb has an absolute cakewalk matchup against the Rams. So everything should be like, hey, Caleb has the better matchup. You play Caleb. And for that reason, I'm playing Carr because I can't put faith in that offense yet. With Keenan coming back, hopefully that gives Caleb a whole bunch of those easier checkdowns. Maybe it helps him, but I'm going to go Carr one more week, but hopefully this, changes moving into next week.
And they have the Falcons this week. Mm-hmm. The Saints do, hoping that the Saints, they come back and then we see what we did the first 2 weeks of the season. But I can't get on board. And over on dynastydaddy.com, the start sit tool, you can do it specifically for your league, which I think is absolutely fantastic. It's 100% Caleb over Derek Carr, which is kind of the expectation. But I can't get on board quite. But like the +4, -2, that does skew it a little bit here for me. I'm going to go Derek Carr.
Same.
All right, where's Kevin here? We appreciate you, man. Let's get this one up here. Thoughts on Anthony Richardson? Have a trade in my inbox. Give my Justin Herbert and receive Anthony Richardson in 25 second would be my quarterback 2, 10 team, 6-point passing touchdown.
You want to go first? I have my thoughts on Richardson.
I'll take Herbert.
Yeah, so that's exactly where I am too. I mean, the hard thing with Richardson is always going to be, hey, he's young. He doesn't have a lot of starts. He could improve a lot. So far, we haven't seen it. And we know Justin Herbert has the foot injury right now. That's going to keep him down. And, listen to the injury pod this week. There's a decent chance for re-injury with Herbert. Herbert is still the better quarterback. And I have more faith in that coaching staff being able to produce points with Herbert. And I just haven't seen enough from Richardson yet to keep buying in. So I would keep Justin Herbert in this scenario.
And I'm gonna say this, looking at different lines and anytime touchdowns. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be shocked if the Steelers defense puts up a touchdown today against the Colts.
Yeah,
I would not be shocked. It's an extremely tough matchup. I know this is a dynasty question that Kev threw at us. And again, we appreciate the super chat comment. Mm-hmm. But for this week, I'm sitting Anthony Richardson in some key spots.
Oh, I'm doing the exact same.
I think that price is going to drop even a little bit further than what we've seen in the panic in the dynasty community.
Okay, John, real quick. We had, just in case if no one asked this, Anthony Richardson this week or Andy Dalton?
Andy Dalton. That's at,
and that's where we are.
Right? I have that decision in Scott Fishbowl. That exact decision. I'm going Andy Dalton. And like you said, that's exactly where we are. Najee Harris or Jerome Ford in PPR.
Dude, both are great plays this week. So if we get anything else with both these guys, these are two names I'll be picking up. Najee with Warren being out, Najee going against that Colts defense that just isn't very good. He's already averaging, I think, 17 carries a game. It's just going to improve this week, and he's going to get all the passing upside. We'll see some Cardell Patterson in there or something, right? But I think Najee's a smash. I love Ford this week as well, but I think Najee's the better play.
I'll also go Najee Harris here. I think with the expectation with this game, over-under of 40 here, it's one of the lowest ones across the board, with the exception of like the Titans game, the Browns game. But I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think it's going to be kind of a slower-paced game. Mm-hmm. So my thought is go with Najee here. Despite all of that, I think he's going to get, the pie might be small, but he's going to get almost all of it. And we just don't know how the Cleveland Browns are going to utilize the backs in what has kind of been a question mark on a weekly basis. This one's from Cole. What's going on, Cole World? I think this is 0.5 PPR.
I would assume 0.5. Yeah.
I hope it's not 5 PPR, but already starting Amon-Ra, but I need 2. Deontay, Amari Cooper, Brandon Ayuk, Jaden Reed, Michael Wilson, Darnell Mooney. Mitch, give me 2.
All right, so Deontay's in. They're just right there. He's going to be in. Like you said with Amari, I worry how much the Browns are actually going to pass in this game. While he's a strong play every single week, I'm going to go Jaden Reed. I think Jaden Reed has the most upside next to Ayuk, but I think Reed is actually going to get more targets than Ayuk this week. So I will go Deontay and Jaden Reed. Mooney's another really good play. Just, are you going to really play him over Jaden Reed and Brandon Ayuk? I'm not there.
Man, Amari's the tough one for me. I know, like we talk about possibly a lower scoring game. The Raiders, like they're middle of the pack with points given up to wide receivers, but that ceiling for me is just, it's high. Like
it is.
There's no other way to say it. But you liked Reed even when it was Malik Willis at the helm.
It's true. Yeah, that's not changing.
So I will also, I'll go Deontay and Reed, but I wouldn't be upset if you went Cooper. Don't tell Ray I'm sharing this right here. The Trinity toll. The one thing on like the ddfantasyfootball.com,
yes,
we have the Trinity tool here. And it is, Mitch, you've talked about it. We've talked about it on Dynasty Theory. Ray talks about it. Scott, Shane, everybody talks about it. It is a way to show and put a score on utilization. I show this because over the last 2 weeks, Darnell Mooney, whether it's redraft, Dynasty, I acquired a share in Dynasty above the trend line and elite usage. Darnell Mooney is a name that everybody needs to keep an eye on because at his current price in that Atlanta situation, he's going to continue to produce when you compare him to Drake London, when you compare him to Kyle Pitts. So if you're looking to invest in anybody in that offense at price, it's Darnell Mooney. I just want to bring that up because that's the name here. We didn't go with him, but it wouldn't shock me to see him pop any given week the way he's being used in that offense. So back of the start sit, Deontay, Jaden Reed, Amari, a 1B for me there. Ayuk, the talent's there. There's no question about that. And now he's wearing the wrong color shorts. How can we trust somebody, me as somebody that's colorblind? You can't trust people that are wearing the wrong color shorts. Come on. All right, from Paul. We appreciate you, Paul. 2 questions. 0.5 PPR, need one of Addison, Keenan Allen, or Demarcus Robinson? Who do you have?
Demarcus Robinson. He's the one that's not coming back from injury right now. Till we know the snap share that we're going to see with Addison and Keenan after this week, I'll go Demarcus Robinson.
I'm fine with that. The only thing is, we know Addison has that big play potential.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an early underdog, like you had Daniel Jones at quarterback, you were relying on Devin Singletary to keep it up, and you're a dog, I don't mind Addison, and I actually think I would go Addison here. My order would go Addison, Demarcus Robinson, Keenan Allen. Like, will Keenan Allen get a full game? Is he going to be there from start to finish?
Yeah.
I don't know. So I would go Addison. Mitch is going Demarcus Robinson because we're split. What is this? 0.5 PPR. 0.5 PPR. Going over a Dynasty Daddy. Going Jordan Addison. I think it's going to go Jordan Addison.
It will. Yeah.
Whoa! I'm shocked.
Is it Robinson?
Marcus Robinson.
There we go.
67% to 33. So, okay, there you go. Paul, Dynasty Daddy, and Mitch are going with Demarcus Robinson. I'll give you the correct answer, though, and go Jordan Addison. You know what that means, Mitch. Keenan Allen's going to go off.
Mm-hmm.
All right, defense, stick with Green Bay. And Green Bay going against the Vikings with that elite quarterback in Sam Darnold, or pivot to New Orleans or Tennessee. New Orleans against the Falcons, Tennessee against the Dolphins. The Saints defense has been pretty strong.
I'm going Saints defense because the Falcons are still giving up a lot. Their pressure rate is really high. And so I think the Saints are going to get you a couple sacks at least. And so I'll play them more for a floor play than a ceiling because defense is whichever one scores a touchdown is going to do you really well, right?
This one's from Josh, and I kind of expected a lot of Akers questions today.
Mm-hmm.
And Mitch, you were the one that broke my heart telling me Joe Mixon was not active today.
It's true. Sad.
And it was after this morning. I didn't have him in any of my lineups. I went through, I put him in, and now I have to pull him back out after we finish up this episode. So half PPR, Roma Dunze, Cam Akers, Najee Harris. I'll go Harris.
Harris, yeah.
Short
that one's cut and dry for me. This one's closer.
From special grade, Bucky or Cam Akers, PPR. Bucky dinged up a little bit, right?
So's White, though. They both are.
Popped up on the injury report. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Eagles. We have Houston going against Jacksonville Jaguars. Could be a nice game script for Cam Akers. I'll go Cam. I could see him punching it into the end zone.
Yeah, I'm going Cam. You have a higher point total. an easier defense to go against. The Eagles did a very good job of shutting down that Saints rushing attack last week. I'm really happy with Cam Akers there.
From Matt, what's going on, Matt? 0.1 PPC. PPR. Trying to cut through some of like the tight end premium. We don't really need that here. Kenneth Walker, Josh Downs, or Braylon Allen. So we have the Jets against the Broncos, the Colts against my Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm such a big Steeler fan now, Mitch.
You are, yeah.
And then
I get it.
Kenneth Walker. I have to go Kenneth Walker here.
It's Kenneth Walker, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like Braylon Allen, he went from having all of that contingent upside to possibly some standalone value as a flex
He really
play.
does. Yeah. Yeah. You do this another 3 or 4 weeks. We have bye weeks coming out. Braylon Allen's going to be in a lot of lineups.
Might just be 8 to 10 points, but that might be the point, 8 to 10 points that you need. Oh, and then next comment, Conk Daddy is also an option.
Yep.
I would have Conklin as my number 2 here.
Yeah, agreed. It's going to be Walker, and then it'll be Conklin.
Mitch, I want your opinion here from B-Dub. Start Olave or Amari Cooper, half PPR. You already expressed concerns with how often the Browns might throw it against the Raiders today with that low point total.
I did, but Olave's injured. So I'm going Cooper. Like, if I ever have a question between, hey, this wide receiver is questionable, but a little bit better, or a fully healthy wide receiver, and they're both projected to be really close to the same, I'll always go with the healthy wide receiver. Unless the game script, I really think it's just going to turn one way or the other.
All right. Remember, if you're watching live, hit that like button. We would appreciate it if you find value and what we're doing here. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to get your comment to the top, we'll immediately discuss it. Hit us with that super chat. All right,
yeah,
Carl.
We're probably, just real quick, we're probably 25 questions behind at this point. So if you don't get to it, hit your super chat and then we'll get right to it.
And this is week 4. Anybody that's watched previous weeks, we kind of ease into it a little bit, kind of give a little bit more discussion around the picks. And then once we see, oh, shit, we're 50 questions behind, we rev up with our coffee and we get moving. All right, from Carl, good morning. Would you go with Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins, DJ Moore, or Jackson Smith and Jigba, half PPR? Carl's leaning more.
I'm not playing more. So he is kind of the lowest for me. I really like Higgins.
With the Bears in general, that wide receiver core. I know you mentioned they have the Rams. It's a decent matchup.
It's a great matchup. Yeah.
Would these things change if Keenan Allen were still out? Yeah. And we had a better idea of how these targets were going to be funneled?
Exactly. If Keenan was out, or if we thought he was only get like a 30% snap share, then I would lean DJ Moore. Right now, I'm not. The whole 49ers offense is back, it seems like. So besides Christian McCaffrey. So Ayuk probably isn't the play. So it's between JSN and Higgins. I'll be honest. I like having the Monday night hammers. I just do. I think it's more fun. Brian Branch is now doubtful. Brian Branch means a lot to that Lions defense on the back end. JSN or Lockett are going off. I'm not sure which one, but one of those two are. So personally, I would put JSN in my lineup, but if I'm actually going to advise anybody what to do, I would go Higgins against the Panthers, because that's going to be.
Even though there was that video where he said, "Don't start me in fantasy." Did you see that?
he just doesn't want the tweets anymore. I get it.
Or people approaching him in public. Well, I guess he was anyway. Approaching him and calling him out for that. Let's see. So who is your final answer here in half PPR?
Advising everybody else, Higgins. Personally, I'm playing JSN.
So you want to take a little bit more risk, maybe. But again, like Seattle, we saw a game where JSN was garnering, maybe 30% of the first read.
18 targets
in one game. Yep. And then he completely falls off the map. And, it's kind of one of those situations. Who is going to get theirs in that offense? And I absolutely hate saying too many mouths to feed. And I love Geno Smith, but maybe there's not enough food to go around for everybody on that table, just not knowing what you're going to
Well,
get.
as we all know, Kenneth Walker isn't going to catch passes, so that should help out the wide receivers, right?
B-Dub hit us with the Olave Cooper. Yeah. Guys, I promise we're going to get to your question here. Yep. You know, you just got to drop it in once. You just got to drop it in once. Jonah, happy game day. We're here. Let's go. All right, Mitch, I see Juwan Jennings is in West Coast Chiefers comment here. You were in on Juwan Jennings last week. Some folks weren't, but you were. So this is PPR start 2. Khalil Shakir, Jacoby Myers, no Devontae Adams, Cam Akers, or Juwan Jennings.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple comments who doubted what I was saying, but it's okay. It's okay. No, Juwan's on the bench this week. He's not coming out. With Buffalo, for whatever reason, I can't remember who they're playing this week. They're playing the Ravens on Sunday night. This makes it tough because Akers is going to be in my lineup. So it's Shakir or Jacoby. I do worry about that Raiders offense. I know they're going to pass and there's going to be receptions, right? But I even worry about Brock Bowers is like the best tight end play this week, but I really worry about him because I think Minshew could just end up getting crushed. I'm going to go Shakir and Akers. Just give me the 2 best players and the 2 best offenses. You know, Juwan Jennings just not getting enough play time is what I'm worried about.
I'm going Khalil Shakir. I'll also go Cam Akers. I disagree with the best player comment. Like, I love Jacoby Myers, but going against the Browns defense, not exactly known to be favorable to these wide receiver matchups. And again, like that 37-point total, that's the second lowest, just behind Tennessee and Miami. I'll go Akers as my number 2, like I said, but that is because with that Jacksonville offense, they're going against Jacksonville. I think it could be a big workload game. And it's not like they're, let's not run him into the ground. What are they saving him for? I think it's a Cam Akers week. If you have him, you should be looking at him in the flex spot there. All right. From KOA, Greg Dortch, Trey Tucker, or hamstring Chris Olave, half PPR, pick 2.
So Chris Olave is going to be my lineup. So it goes to Dortch or Tucker. Tucker gives you more upside, in my opinion. Like, if you want a solid floor, I think Dortch is a decent play, but Trey Tucker is going to be on the field for all the Raider snaps as much as he could handle, right? And Dortch, like, I know McBride's out, so that should mean a few more targets going his way. It's just not there for me, so I'm going Olave and Tucker.
I can get behind that. All right, from JD, 1.5 tight end premium, Kittle or Laporta? Kittle for me.
Same. Yep.
Until we see a little bit more usage from Laporta, I know it's crazy, but if I'm not going to slide one of these guys into a flex spot, I'm going George Kittle over Sam Laporta straight up here. Patrick also just made the Dalton over A-Rich decision. Can you believe in the year 2024, especially from like a dynasty perspective and background where Mitch and I come, like, we're talking about Andy Dalton over Anthony Richardson. That's where we are. That's how crazy the early stages of the 2024 season have been. All right, from Alex, Jerome Ford, Jacoby Myers, PPR.
Ford. I just think Ford's floor is about the same as Jacoby's, and the ceiling is pretty close too, but Ford's a solid play.
All right, from JD again, 0.5 PPR. Olave, Evans, Tyreek. Ooh. I would go Evans.
You're going. They have the Eagles. The Eagles secondary is crap. So hard to sit Tyreek.
I know.
And I do love Huntley. I do. He's not an NFL starting quarterback, but he's a pretty good backup. And Skylar Thompson, like I was saying before, he shouldn't. No offense to the guy, but he shouldn't be like second in line to start on an NFL team. I'm going Tyreek.
And it's 50-50. It's split there on Dynasty Daddy between
Is it? Okay.
Sleeper, Number Fire, Fantasy Pros, Yahoo, FanDuel, DraftKings. I'm going to stick Evans. I'm sticking with Evans. And it is crazy to think that we're talking about benching Tyreek Hill.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that is what this season has brought to us. I'm going to have a few more gray hairs as this season progresses. From Alex, Tyreek, Jaden Reed, Christian Kirk, or Chuba Hubbard need 2. PPR.
Dude, I hate Christian Kirk questions. I hate it. I'm out, and then he goes and gets almost 100 yards and like 8 receptions. And then I'm in on him, and he gets 2 targets the whole game. Chuba is in. He's in. All 3 of these guys are really good plays. I think Kirk is going to be a very strong play against the Texans because they're going to put up a lot of points. The Jaguars are going to have to keep going. Jaden Reed, you guys all know my love for him at this point. Going against the Vikings, I think he gets a lot more of those scripted passes, and like we just talked about Tyreek. So I'm going Chuba and Tyreek.
I can't bench Tyreek in this situation.
Yeah, I just
like Mike Evans.
It's a great question, man. This one's really tough.
But and again, like that's where we are. Mm-hmm. Like what Andy Dalton or Anthony Richardson, Tyreek Hill or Chuba Hubbard, like that. Which is crazy. But yeah, I'm going to go Tyreek Hill. I'm going to go Chuba Hubbard. I really hope Christian Kirk. I mean, I have him in a ton of lineups. I hope he produces this week. And, you know, Chuba Hubbard, Tyreek Hill. I also think it gives you a nice little floor ceiling combination. Mm-hmm. I don't know how folks feel about that, but, you know, that could be in consideration there. Again, if you're watching live right now, we got about a little over an hour left. Drop that like. We would appreciate it. All right, Garrett. Oh, it's never good when it starts bad one. 2-2, Romeo Doubs, Trey Tucker, Christian Watson, Xavier Worthy need 2.5 PPR.
Do we have to start 2 of them? So I'll go. Worthy's going to be my lineup. And I'm going Doubs. I want to play Trey Tucker. I think like he's a solid, like sneaky play if you're going DFS. I don't even think he's sneaky. I think he's going to be pretty high. He's going to be in a lot of lineups because of his price, but I'm not, if I don't have to start him, I'm not going to start him pretty much.
So it was Doubs and Worthy.
Yeah.
I'm good with, again, like flip a coin if you're deciding between one of the Packers receivers, honestly. But yeah. Dobbs, he's been getting a little, more looks here. I know obviously we're going from Jordan Love to Malik Willis back to Jordan Love, but I would go Dobbs and Worthy as well. Again, Worthy's 2 plays away from 20 points. Yeah. If you're putting Worthy in your lineup, it's live or die by him.
Yeah, you know what it is. You flat out do.
All right, here's a good one. Jordan Mason against the Patriots, Alvin Kamara against the Atlanta Falcons, Jahmyr Gibbs against the Seattle Seahawks. One of them has to go 0.5 PPR.
I'll bench Mason this week. I don't love it. I'm not benching Gibbs in a high point total game. That's just not really what's going to hit. Kamara probably gets just as many rushes that Mason does, but he gets the Falcons defense compared to the 49ers getting the Patriots defense.
And the Patriots, they have not been a slouch when it comes to against the run. Josh, appreciate you, man. But again, it's never good when it starts. This is a gross one. PPR, Michael Pittman. I was just talking to my cousin's boyfriend. He picked Michael Pittman up off of waivers in his redraft league. And I was like, that's like great.
Yep.
But do you even want
him?
do you even want him in redraft? So Pittman, 2-2 or Lockett. Give me Lockett.
Lockett, same. Tutu is this good play. I know we've had a couple questions about him so far today. I mentioned it last week. He probably is the best wide receiver for the Rams right now that no one wants to talk about it, but he's probably their best guy. I know everyone's like falling in love with Whittingham and all that stuff. I'm going Lockett because his upside is 10 catches, 150 yards and a touchdown, to where Atwell's is like, he breaks one. He's like the Worthy kind of play to where he gets like that 40-yard bomb.
Again, going back to the Trinity tracker here, looking at the last 2 weeks and the x-axis being the Trinity score. Really anything over 7.5 is high-end wide receiver 1 usage. And then you have the PPR fantasy points on the y-axis, and fairly correlated, you can see. But this is over the last 2 weeks. We have Colby Parkinson, Whittington, Tyler Johnson, who everybody was blowing their fab over, Demarcus Robinson, Cooper Kupp, obviously went down.
Yep.
But Tutu Atwell, he is getting elite usage. Air yards, after the catch, target share, like he's getting what folks want. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't checked out ddfantasyfootball.com, I highly suggest it. And then jump in the Discord.
Yes.
All right. Mitch and I are in there constantly. If you want to show your support for the team, if you want to be engaged with a fantastic community, come on over. All right, let's see here. Where are we? You know what I don't like about the super chat? It takes you away from where you were before. You know, we got the bad one. Here we go.
Yeah.
From Cody, PPR, start 1. Reed. I can't take any more Jaden Reed questions. Reed. Every time somebody asks a Jaden Reed question, Mitch gets his wings, I think.
A little bit.
All right. DJ Moore, JSN, or Shakir, and Jaden Reed, start 1 PPR, Mitch.
I feel like we've almost had this one just without Shakir in it. Like I said, I'm personally going to play JSN. Like, I just have a lot of faith in that Seahawks offense doing well on Monday night. But I'll say play Shakir.
Okay.
You, John?
He's getting the looks. He's getting the usage. Shakir and Wan'Dale Robinson right now are like those sneaky guys that you don't really love, but they're getting used the way you want your receivers to be used.
Yeah, they're the old Curtis Samuel, and I can't remember. There's a slot wide receiver who's not getting paid. He plays for the Commanders right now. He's the backup. I have him on a lot of rosters for a long time. Don't remember his name. Yeah.
Yummy Brown?
No, the little slot wide receivers that, just get you 10 points each week. I can't think of his name, but we're good.
Well, now you have me thinking. You said Curtis Samuel, though. Pour one out. He just has not been, what are we doing? Oh my God, Jamison Crowder.
That's the name I was thinking of.
What a legend! I always liked Jamison.
Exactly, it was like that great little flex play.
All right, well, we're using the term "great" loosely here on winning the week. From Kevin, start Steele or Addison. Let's assume 0.5 PPR since it's not
Steele.
Yeah, he was a touchdown away last week from having a really nice week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He had, I think, 17 or 18 carries, like 80 yards, something like that. Add a touchdown on there. He's great.
All right, let's get through some rapid fire here from Za. Yo, start 1. Caleb or Cousins?
Cousins.
I'll actually go Caleb in this situation. I'll go Caleb.
I wish you luck.
I know. Start 2. Drake London, Tyreek Hill, Rashid Shaheed, Amari Cooper. I will go Cooper and Tyreek.
Same.
All right. And that's full PPR if it makes any difference. Patrick says 5 PPR would be crazy. I've seen some of the leagues that some folks in the DD fantasy football Discord play in. There might be some 5 PPR leagues out there. All right. From Garrett again, Pittman, Higgins, Stevenson. One has to go. Pittman's out.
Pittman's on the bench.
Pittman is out. See, Patrick knows about the Trinity. He knows what's up. Mooney, solid. Yes, he is. Garrett, Drake London, Stevenson. One has to go. 0.5 PPR. I'll play Stevenson.
Are you against the 49ers?
Yeah, I'll play Stevenson.
I'm going Drake London. Sorry, that's not a lot of help. I'm going Drake London.
Well, here. So we got what? 0.5 PPR going over to Dynasty Daddy.
Yeah, while you're pulling that up, I just feel Drake London's touchdown upside is higher. And while we do love Mooney, Pitts is nothing. So, John's winning.
83% to 17%. Ramondre. I don't feel great about it, but give me Ramondre. Alex, Jacoby or Hopkins, PPR?
Man, I spent all last week talking about how Calvin Ridley is amazing. He's doing everything. Then Hopkins goes and has the big target share game, and Ridley doesn't get anything. I do think that implied total is only 17 points for the Titans. I think that's really, really low, to be honest. I'm going to go Hopkins because I think they actually need to score a little bit.
I'll go. Yeah, I'm good with Hopkins here in full PPR. That line, that was a surprising one. Dolphins 2.5 point favorite. It actually went up a little bit whenever Huntley was named the starter.
Yeah.
Like
a 36-point over-under in an NFL game on Monday Night Football. That is horrible.
Well, thank goodness we have 2 Monday Night Football
exactly.
games, right? Let's see. Jeff, we appreciate you, man. Are the Chargers going to mail it in this week going into a bye? Roshan Johnson.
Is week 4, this is where we are. Roshan Johnson or J.K. Dobbins?
So we got the Chargers against the Chiefs. Like, I'm hoping we see that Chiefs offense that we are so used to seeing. Again, this is surprisingly one of the lower point totals. But if the Chiefs jump out early, J.K. Dobbins has not really been used all that much in the passing game, especially historically. But, he has 3 receptions against the Steelers, but low scoring game, 3 receptions against the Raiders. The Panthers, they were just running at will. And then it sounds like I'll go Roshan.
I'm not. I'm going J.K. Dobbins. And the reason for it is I know there's a lot of talk that the Bears are finally realizing that DeAndre Swift is a terrible running back. Like, it's great they gave him all the money and they're realizing it now. They still have Khalil Herbert. And so it could turn into a little bit of like a 3-headed backfield, and that is the worst thing for fantasy. I mean, lots of teams, they play 2 running backs. It's completely fine for fantasy now. 3, I'm staying completely away from that, especially if they're wasting touches with DeAndre Swift. So I'm going J.K. Dobbins.
So the Rams, just looking at fantasy points against, like, they've given up 70 PPR points. Well, it's rushing, so it doesn't matter if it's PPR or not. 70 points. That is the 3rd highest across the league.
I get it. If you could take one of those running backs out, I'm more than happy to play Roshan. I'm just not doing it. I'm playing J.K. Dobbins.
Can we get into a discussion here between floor and ceiling? Or is it Dobbins either way for you?
I think Dobbins' floor is higher than Roshan's, and I think his ceiling is much
I don't think his ceiling is higher this week.
I do.
I don't think it's higher.
It is.
All right, well, Jeff, if it makes you feel any better, Dynasty Daddy was unanimous on there with all the projections to go J.K. Dobbins.
I appreciate how you try to downplay it when I'm right, but when it agrees with you, it's a completely different story.
Yeah, you're
how
damn
big
right.
Of a difference is it? Is it like a 3 to 4 point difference
overall? Like, these projections, it's like Number Fire has Roshan at 9.82, Sleeper 4.7.
Oh Lord!
Overall, 2-point difference for the most part.
Yeah, which is pretty big for running backs of the type we're talking about.
I still think Roshan has the higher ceiling. Roshan could go out there and lay a goose egg. So
that's my hesitant on telling anyone to play him, right?
Yeah, he could. Well, Jeff, seriously, we appreciate you.
Yes, thank you, man.
From Sugar, bench A-Rich for Geno or Goff?
I'm playing Geno. So Goff has a really hard time against anybody that blitzes, and guess what the Seahawks are going to do? They're going to blitz. So I think Geno is definitely the play there.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Yeah, I'll go Geno over Richardson. I really think this could be an ugly game. The Steelers defense, they've been strong. Justin Fields, I've said this a few times. He is doing, while it isn't what we want for fantasy purposes, and I know nobody asked about Justin Fields here, but he is playing safe, boring football.
He's playing Steelers football, baby.
That is what they want, though. And that's kind of what I think Russ would have brought. But at this point, until he's making those critical mistakes, like even you look at the misses that he's had, they're not those misses that could go the other way.
Yeah, they're just maybe a bad throw. He's good. Yeah, they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to win 10 or 11 games, and he'll might be the starter next year.
Really comes down to this defense if they continue to keep them in games. But he is doing exactly what Mike Tomlin and the Steelers organization wants him to do. All right, so we're going to go anyway, Geno over Richardson, and then start Steele over Pollard or Ford, PPR.
I'm going Ford, then Pollard, then Steele.
I'm good with that as well. All right, Phil, T or Tyreek, full PPR?
Tyreek.
I'll go Tyreek there. From Wyatt, we need 2 flex options in PPR. Keenan Allen, Cortland Sutton, Jacoby Myers. I don't love Sutton against the Jets defense.
Agree. Yeah, Sutton's going to get shut down.
That's my issue. I'm over 20% exposure in my dynasty leagues with Cortland Sutton. I'm benching him anywhere I have any other options.
Yep. So Allen and Myers for me as well.
All right. From Garrett, Tajay or Pollard versus the Steelers?
Pollard.
Wait a minute.
Versus
the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Garrett, come on.
Either way, Pollard is the starter that you play in that backfield. He is. I mean, until we see like 4 or 5 weeks of Spears actually getting work over him, I'm going Pollard.
All right. And then the next comment from Garrett, Pollard or Tajay versus the Colts. What are we doing here, Garrett? Come on.
Garrett, it's only 9:15 in the morning. We could only be so many mimosas in. It's all right, though. We got you.
All right. Awful. With McBride out, should I start Hunter Henry or Tyler Conklin? Mitch, we got a DM earlier. For something, you were very anti-Hunter Henry.
Yes. So I'm not going to pull up the website right now, but I was going through points allowed by defenses against tight ends, right? I really like using that sort of stuff for DFS. The 49ers are averaging 3 points allowed to tight ends, fantasy-wise. 3. Not like 3.9, 3. So I'm going Conklin because I really think like the one place you can attack on the improved Broncos defense is where you could play Conklin, right? You could attack those linebackers a little bit. I don't play anybody against Fred Warner. That's just like a rule that I have. Fred Warner can take any tight end out of the game, especially Henry.
I'm going Conklin over Henry, but also the 49ers, they went against Johnny Munt. They went against Colby Parkinson.
Who we like Henry, until he played against the 49ers.
But Hunter Henry, he's better than both of those players.
Sure. Yeah, no, I'm not doing it. Don't play people against don't play tight ends against the Buccaneers or the 49ers. 90% of the time you'll be money ahead.
All right. And then Chuba or Najee Harris full PPR.
This one's tough. This one's really tough. I'm going Najee because I know he's getting the full workload. Chuba's a great play though. So it's like Najee for me, and then Chuba is he is right there. If there's any other flex play you can make to get both of them in, I'm playing both of them.
Did we say DeMarcus Robinson over Ayuk, JSN, Higgins, and DJ Moore?
I hope not.
I'd have to double check that.
Yeah. Well,
Dan saying,
why don't you answer the next one real quick?
All right. Mitch is going to do some digging here. All right. Patrick, 12 team, PPR start 1. Tyreek, Debo, Ayuk, JSN, or Rome. I'll go Tyreek here. All right.
No. So the only question that we've really had with DeMarcus over a few players is Addison or Keenan. So, I'm good with where we are.
That's all right. We're going quickly. We're going quickly here. All right,
that is going to happen. I am going to say one player over one, then 30 minutes later, redo it. It's going to happen.
Don't worry, Kay Shaughnessy. I'm trying to keep Mitch in line here.
Yeah. It's all
right.
fault.
It's easy to blame you. From Jesse, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow or Geno Smith?
Lamar.
I
don't sit Lamar Jackson.
All right. From Jingles. Fields, Goff, Darnold, 6-point passing touchdown. Say it with me.
Darnold. Yeah, just like we knew this was going to happen. No big deal.
All right. From Marshall, full PPR. I believe that's what that is. Olave or Kenneth Walker? I'll go Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker. It's a tough matchup for him, but I have faith in Kenneth Walker.
All right. From the Wins, 0.5 PPR.
Ooh.
Hill or Mooney? I can't bench Tyreek.
So you're going against the Trinity is what you're saying. No, I agree. I'm not benching Tyreek, but Mooney is a strong flex play.
Kelsey or
Komet. I'm guessing it's Komet, right?
Oh, Komet.
We're there. It's Komet. I don't really want to say that out loud because there's going to be a game to where Mahomes is like, you are getting 15 targets this game, Kelsey.
And it might be this week against the Chargers.
Yeah. But that's what you're hoping for. You're hoping for it to turn into the Mahomes is going to force feed Kelsey just to prove that Kelsey isn't bad, right?
I mean, we always say, and I say we, the fantasy community, start your studs. But if you haven't produced in almost a month, take him out of your lineup.
Yeah.
And I think Komet, the way he's played the last weeks. Now, again, we've talked about the Bears receiving core and how things change with Keenan Allen coming in. But Komet, he's, had 2 decent games here, especially from a utilization perspective. So I'm sticking with Komet there. Yeah. All right, Kevin, Rich or Love?
Love.
I'll go Love. Love or Darnold?
Darnold.
From Lindiana Jones, Carson Steele or Christian Watson, 0.5 PPR.
I love the name. Carson Steele.
I love a good pun. I'm going to go Carson Steele too. A to Z, 4-point passing touchdowns. Benching Richardson for Fields or go with the Red Rifle? Dalton.
Oh, Red Rifle. Yeah. Yep.
Go with Dalton. From Ricky, full PPR, Flowers or London?
London. Flowers is producing. I'm okay with him. I just like London's touchdown upside every single week. We thought it was going to be Pitts. Hey, Pitts is going to be that red zone thing for the Falcons. No, it's just London. And to hit the next one while John's pulling it up, Garrett Wilson or Jaden Reed. I'm not playing Garrett Wilson unless I have to this week. Patrick Surtain is the best corner in the NFL. He will 100% shadow, and we saw Wilson have issues with Gonzalez last week. I'm playing Jaden Reed.
I don't feel strongly enough to disagree on either of those two, to be honest with you. All right, Darko, 0.5 PPR. Are you flexing Dobbins or Shakir?
What you think?
I went Shakir.
I was going to say, because if you were going to say Dobbins, I'm like, so you're playing Roshan over Shakir? So, yeah.
No. I think Shakir actually finds the end zone. Let's get a Shakir and Steelers defense little parlay there. All right. Jesse can play 2. Mike Evans, Jawan Jennings, Jacoby Myers, Rashid Shaheed. I want Mike Evans.
Evans and Myers for me.
I'm good with that.
Yep.
From Chris, Jacoby Myers or JSN, no PPR.
Ooh. Myers. Because I think we could probably project him to get more catches or more yards, I should say. Sorry. So that one's tough. 0 PPR throws everything for a loop because I never think in that way. No, I'm going JSN. This dude is tripping. He must be talking about me, I would guess.
I love the comments. Michael, we need clarification. Who's tripping? Is it Mitch or myself?
Has to be me.
Please don't be me. All right, from Xavier. So I've seen a Xavier, the name Xavier, but it was they pronounced it Javier, even though it was XAV. So Xavier, Javier. Apologies if I messed it up. Flex 1, PPR, Demarcus Robinson, Keon Coleman, Tajay Spears, Alexander Madison, Josh Downs. Keon Coleman.
Yeah, it's Keon Coleman, man. I mean,
it's Keon
like
Coleman.
2 out of 3 weeks, he's been fine.
B Hart, good morning. The wins again. We already got this one. B Hart, PPR, 2 PPR for tight ends. Play these 3 tight ends or sub in Carson Steele for one of them. Schultz, Jacksonville, Komet, Indianapolis, Kincaid, Baltimore.
Sitting Komet, playing Steele.
I don't know. I don't know about that one. I kind of like Schultz today with Tank Dell out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not sitting Kincaid. The usage has been getting better. We were just looking at it. The first down or the first read target rate has been one of the highest over the last 2 weeks whenever he's been in. When you look across the tight end position. So going Kincaid, going Schultz. Fine. Let's go Steele. Patrick, Mitch with his daily shitting on Swift.
Yeah. Look, if there's questions about the Bears, we just need to put it out there that Swift isn't good. It's fire.
All right, we're 13 minutes behind now. We're catching up slowly but surely. Akers or Shaheed? Akers. Start Lawrence, Watson, or Carr.
Oh, this one's tough. Okay. It's not Watson. Watson isn't in any of my lineups. I need a miracle. Carr or Lawrence. I'm going to go Lawrence. I'm not a Lawrence guy at all, but I just think it's going to be a much higher point scoring game. It's indoors, which I do think helps out quite a bit. I think the Texans are going to put up a lot of points on the Jaguars. Yeah, I'm going Lawrence.
I'm good with that. From Wayne, Caleb or Mahomes?
Mahomes.
I'll go Mahomes. From Mitch, Lockett or Komet, 0.5 PPR, 0.5 tight end premium. I'll go Lockett here.
Same. That's not a big enough premium for me to think about like the flex tight ends over a positional player.
And another Dalton or A-Rich.
Here we go. Yep.
Dalton. Ride or die with Dalton today.
You know, I find it weird that there's a lot of A-Rich teams that happen to have Dalton on their bench. They're like, you know what? This isn't working out. I need Dalton. Yeah.
You need Dalton. And it's nice because we're going to get resolution here early on both of those.
Yes.
1 o'clock game. So, like every week we've had at least one situation where it's like, we got to remember this one. Mm-hmm. And this is the one. Now, if Anthony Richardson completely pops off today, I might throw my phone away.
No, it's what I want. Like, I hope I am wrong on these. Him playing the Steelers and he goes off for 30 points. It's like, okay, game on with Anthony Richardson now. I just don't see it happening.
Keenan or Rome, full PPR?
Rome.
Okay.
Yeah. Rome is going to see more snaps. I'm very sure about that. So give me the guy that's going to be on the field more.
I just, and another Keenan question. Like, I have Keenan in a lot of rosters for Dynasty. I'm going other ways if possible. Like Cortland Sutton is a big sit for me this week. Keenan Allen, really trying to avoid him. Could he go off? Yes. But like coming back from the injury, we've seen this movie before. And oftentimes it just doesn't end well. Mm-hmm. All right. We already talked about Myers and JSN. From B Hart PPR, Mooney or Judy? Mooney.
Mooney.
There we go. We finally get a Mooney. Yep. I can flex 2 of these 4. There's nobody. Oh, here we go. I can flex 2 of these 4. Okay. Ford, Coleman, Leggett, or Kincaid. I want Ford and Kincaid.
Agreed.
Even if it's just full PPR, no tight end premium. Mm-hmm. Xavier Leggett, not on my radar. All right. Patterson, Tyler Johnson, or Tucker Kraft.
Kenneth, what'd you do, man? That's what I want to know.
You know what? Jalen Ward out. Give me Patterson.
No, it's Patterson is the play. We just kind of lucked out with that Ward injury to make this the actual play this week.
Yeah, I'll go that. Brian Thomas or Cam Akers full PPR.
Upside. If you need the ceiling, Brian Thomas is in my lineup. If you feel pretty confident with what your projection are so far, then it's Cam Akers.
Fields.
I'll
or
let you do
Caleb?
this one, Steelers fan.
No, I will go Caleb here.
It's Caleb. Yeah.
Again, Fields.
The weird thing is, like, Fields isn't. We liked him previous years because of that rushing floor. It was like, hey, he's giving you a great floor. That floor isn't. I mean, it's there, but it's because he's not messing up to give you the negative points this year. It's not the floor because he's throwing interceptions, but he's rushing for 80 yards. Now it's just like he's just a competent NFL quarterback that's giving them enough to win. Caleb, on the other hand, can throw for 400, 4 interceptions, but get a couple touchdowns out of it, right?
Especially if you're not in a big negative points for interceptions. If Caleb's gonna sling it, I'm taking.
I'm in a league to where you get a -4 quarterback sacks as well, and
What?
Caleb is like hard to play. Like, it's really rough to play anyone like Caleb Williams in those. It's a quarterback stat, man.
Yes, but 4 points.
No, did I say 4? I don't think I meant 4. I just say that you lose a point for a quarterback sack.
Oh, wait, you said -4 sacks. Okay. So
I see. I was like, wait, I'm all confused.
So just because Keenan Allen popped up a lot, I pulled up a roster here.
Mm-hmm.
I am going Hurts and Kyler. It's 12-team Superflex, start 10. Aaron Jones. I'm going to have to start Carson Steele because I had Mixon in here. Son of a. And then, are you going to start Keenan Allen over Ayuk, Diggs, Godwin, Jacoby, or Sutton? No. So I do have a Sutton in here by default.
Over Sutton. Yeah.
Okay. I can switch that. I agree. That's what happens when you have so many lineups. All right. So that was for me. Thanks, Mitch. So I can blame you if it doesn't go well. All right. From Robert, pick 3 of the 4 half PPR. Okay. Brandon Ayuk, DJ Moore, Drake London, Deontay Johnson. Deontay's in my lineup. This is how quickly things change. 8 days ago, nobody wanted anything to do with Deontay Johnson. And then he pops off. So give me Deontay Johnson, give me Ayuk, and give me London.
Complete agreement. Yeah, just the DJ Moore, it's the ceiling play, right? I just think all these other guys have a small, higher ceiling. They're all going to project for really close to the exact same.
All right, from Loud. Do you think that's entertainment? ENT?
Probably.
Like maybe a production.
Loud Entertainment.
Loud Entertainment. This is a loud entertainment production. Pick 3 half PPR, please. Deontay, Tyreek, DJ Moore, Zay Flowers, Ramondre Stevenson.
Deontay's in, like you said. I have a hard time sitting Flowers, man. I'm going to go Flowers and Tyreek. I think you're going to go Stevenson over Flowers, though.
No, I'm, and again, maybe this is just wishful thinking, hoping that Buffalo-Baltimore game tonight, Island game, I hope it's just popping. Mm-hmm. I hope the game day chat in the Discord is just ecstatic. No issues with the number of plays they're running. Scott, that's to you if you're listening. But I'll go those 3 as well. Patrick says Carr is also indoors. Think I lean him over T-Lock.
Yeah, I get it.
JSN or Xavier Leggett from Row the Boat.
Okay, I'm glad that we had this. I'm glad that we had this. Like, I'm playing JSN, but Leggett is a really good play this week. Like, if you're DFS or if you're looking at prop bets or whatever, he was on the field for 90% of snaps. Now Thielen's not on the field. Leggett, I won't be shocked if he ends up getting 60 or 70 yards this week. The play's still JSN, but I like it.
I'll go JSN.
That's pretty good timing.
I know. Did you see the game day chat? What was that Thursday night?
Yeah, I was in there. Yeah.
Scott with his play updates there. All right, from Ken. Having to start Patterson because I sold out for 2 championships and have Mahomes and Josh Allen as my 2 quarterbacks.
That's fair. I get it, man. Well, we've all been there, believe me.
Caleb or Darnold, 6-point passing touchdowns.
Darnold.
Yeah. Fucking Darnold. All right, Patrick. In a comment to Kenneth. Okay. Xavier Worthy or Chris Olave? I'll go Worthy.
I am shocked you're going. To be honest, I am more on the Worthy side than the Olave side. Just the hamstrings with wide receivers.
That concerns me.
Right? But dude, you know me in stacks. I love my stacks. I'm going Worthy. I think Olave is the much safer floor, like much safer. But the ceiling is Worthy, and it's Worthy by a lot.
But again, it could be an Olave situation where tweaks it very early. And again, I'm not anybody could get injured, but that's my concern with these types of situations. So it shocked me that I picked Worthy.
Oh, good.
I'll go Worthy. And the stack, I mean, I know, Mitch, you're stacks on stacks on stacks. But yeah, I'll go Worthy here. And this is one where I hope I am wrong. You say you hope you're wrong. I hope I'm wrong on Olave because I'm stuck starting him in places.
Yep.
So Beehart, 2 PPR for tight ends, Patterson, Cordarrelle Patterson, or Jonnu Smith.
You do this one real quick. I want to look something up.
Oh, man. Jonnu. I wish I had, pulled up Tyler Huntley, his usage with using tight ends. Actually, I am very pro Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Very pro Mark Andrews when he was there. I'll go Jonnu Smith.
I'm going Jonnu mainly because I don't plan on Cordarrelle catching any passes. If he does, maybe it's one. And so you're going to have to hope for that touchdown upside to where Jonnu can go out and get 5 catches this week.
All right. From Rye, half PPR, JSN, Brian Thomas, Travis Etienne, pick 2. I want Etienne.
Yeah, Etienne's in. How high of a ceiling do you need? That's my question. Ceiling, Brian Thomas Jr.
I'll go JSN either way, I think.
Okay.
JSN and Travis Etienne. Olave, Walker, or Jamison Williams, 0.5 PPR. I'll go Walker.
I'm going Walker too. Yeah.
Oh, man. Keenan Allen or Travis Kelce.
I knew this was a Beehart team because I've seen his teams, and he does love the vets more than just about anybody else I've ever known. In 2-point premium, it's Kelce.
I'll go Kelce here as well. Geist, even if Olave tweaks it, he'll probably still get more targets than Worthy. That would not shock me. Would not shock me.
Guys, this is the second week in a row we popped you up without a sit start one. I hope this one works better than last week did.
Next week, Steel Cage, Mitch versus Geist over a wide receiver start sit question.
Over will Jennings be a player now?
From Jamal, gotta pick 2 in a must win. Olave, Shakir, Akers, PPR. Shakir and Akers.
Agreed. Yeah, it's just healthy. If Olave was healthy, we'd change all of these, but that hamstring's a scary thing.
Do I sit? This is from Joey. Yes. Do I sit Anthony Richardson for Caleb, Geno, or Dalton? We've already said, personally, I'm going Dalton over Anthony Richardson in one lineup.
So, but the other 3, I really like Geno this week. I would go Geno, then Dalton, then Caleb. But they're all, really close to each other.
Yeah, Richardson would be my number 4 out of that group, as crazy as it sounds. Again, if they continue to not let him do what we wanted him to do, if he's not going to run the ball, a la, Justin Fields to start the season a few years back with the Bears, and then boom, it clicked and just, things were going fantasy-wise. I don't want Anthony Richardson in my lineup. All right. From Rye, thoughts on Laporta today, Mitch? Laporta? Tomorrow.
But yeah, we can't trust him yet. There's a good chance going against that Seahawks defense, they're going to need quick out. So it's not going to be the deep passing game. That would lead to more receptions for Laporta. And while on a lot of teams, he is my tight end one, and I don't really have anybody after him because I chose going into the season, hey, Laporta's good. I don't need a whole bunch of good backups behind him. So he's in a lot of my lineups because I don't have anybody better to start.
Xavier, in my running back 2 spot, Zach Charbonnet with Kenneth Walker back. Does he have any restrictions? Can he play through the whole game with the oblique issue? Or Tyjae Spears against Miami on Monday night, which is going to be a Monday night barn burner. And then obviously dealing with Tony Pollard there as well.
This is one of those. I'm going to go Spears. When Kenneth Walker's back, I believe he just gets the touchdowns when he's in. Charbonnet can always break off a long reception, but I plan on those wide receivers doing what they do. So I will go Spears over Charbonnet this week.
Okay. Colby Parkinson or Elijah Higgins. I might go a 3-player prop here. Steelers defense, Khalil Shakir, Elijah Higgins, all to find the end zone.
Yep. Higgins.
I'll take Higgins over Colby Parkinson this week. More of a macro question. Oh, care to unpack Elijah Higgins and his tantalizing opportunity this week?
Go ahead, man.
I mean, Trey McBride is out. Seemingly, I think he gets a majority of the tight end work in what should be, what hopefully is the highest scoring game on, the entire week. I think you could do a lot worse than Elijah Higgins.
I agree. I'm just pulling up.
If it's a 2 PPR league and you're running into injuries, you're running into some situations where it's like, we've talked about Cordero Patterson, Jonnu Smith. Elijah Higgins is a guy I would start over both of them. So if we're down to the nitty gritty, if things are looking bleak, I think Elijah Higgins can return some value this week, especially with a tight end premium.
So the one thing I will give on the bad side of things is, I know we don't want to talk about Tip Raymond, however you want to say his last name. So far, his snap shares matched what Higgins does. And while I do believe it's Higgins, like I said on the previous questions, it's Higgins. There is a little bit of a worry of what if it's us as fantasy analysts projecting who we want them to play more so than what the Cardinals are actually going to do.
Could be. Yeah. But again, we're talking about these dog crap options.
We're talking about like tight ends that are projected for 5 to 6 PPR points this week. It is like, well, I'll take the one with the upside, man.
All right, from Chad. J.K. Dobbins, Jordan Addison, Cam Akers, pick 2.5 PPR.
It's Akers and Addison for me.
Addison over Dobbins?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm good with that. Half PPR, no tight end premium, Mark Andrews or Taysom Hill. I'll ride with Mark Andrews, but I hate it.
I'm playing Taysom.
I hate it so much.
I could see him get down to the 2. Taysom runs it in, and he's already beat Andrews for the week.
Give me Andrews. You know what? I want to see. So half PPR. Where do different projections have it here? Let's go Mark Andrews, and let's go Taysom Hill.
I would have to assume projections Andrews is higher.
It still favors Andrews, but it's really close across.
Really?
Yeah, like 1 to 2 points overall. But I'll go Andrews there. From BK, 0.5 PPR, McLaurin, Akers, Irving, and then Pickens.
McLaurin. They're going to have to throw. We saw them actually start to match up really well on Monday Night Football. Daniels even missed him for another huge catch earlier in the game before he caught that long touchdown for the go-ahead in the fourth quarter. It's McLaurin. Akers would be the second one, and then Irving and Pickens are just a little bit behind them.
I'll go McLaurin as well.
Yep.
Like, again, this is an acre spot, right? Like,
it should be.
Yeah, hoping to see that
unless they throw for 5 touchdowns, which we can see with the Texans.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm good with McLaurin here. About 20 minutes left. If you're still watching, we appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button. All right, Rye. A lot of Mahomes fall out early this season. The too high safety. Questions if Mahomes really has that ceiling. Rest of season, Dynasty, Superflex, 5-point pass touchdowns. Mahomes or Daniels, who you got and why? If it's just rest of season, like if we're in a redraft league, I'll go upside in Daniels.
It does say Dino in it too. So it's like maybe rest of the schedule, maybe you're a contender and you're doing it. If it has anything to do with Dynasty, it's Mahomes, and I want a first on top of Daniels to move off of Mahomes down to Daniels.
And that's just a trade we're not going to be seeing. That's the thing.
Exactly. Yeah. But value-wise, that's where I am with it. But if we're talking redraft, anything else that's not Dynasty, I will take Jaden Daniels over Mahomes. Rest of season.
The ceiling is super high for Jaden Daniels. Looks extremely promising 3 weeks into the season. But we know from a Dynasty perspective how quickly people can, like, you can be on people's crap list. Like Patrick Mahomes has been elite. And, I know the last 2 years, it hasn't been what people signed up for necessarily, especially with the cost to acquire. But I will still take Patrick Mahomes from a Dynasty perspective. And I think that market is softening. Mitch and I got to share the trade that we just did involving Mahomes. I did this when Mitch was asleep. It's a co-manage league. I pulled that trigger before they had a chance to revoke, but it's a 12-team super flex. We traded Kelsey, Derrick Henry, Matthew Stafford, DK Metcalf, Gardner Minshew, and a 25-second for Patrick Mahomes. That is something that would have never happened a month ago. So there is fallout. And on last week's episode of Dynasty Theory, we talked about opportunities and the potential to move on from Mahomes. And is he hurting your fantasy team, your Dynasty team? But then it's like the market is overcorrected so quickly. I know the footballers put out a segment. I know a lot of folks are talking out there. That market has changed so quickly. So now it's like I'm out there trying to buy Mahomes.
And if I would have told you, hey, week 4 of the season, it's going to be Carson Still at running back and Samaje Perine, how much do we love Mahomes this year? And Rashee Rice is going off for 120 each game.
And they're 3-0.
Exactly.
All right, Schultz or Andrews? I have to go Schultz this week.
Andrews is borderline unplayable. I'm playing Schultz.
You took Taysom over him, right?
Yeah. So did half of the projection, so it's okay.
Yeah, I'll take Dalton Schultz here. Let's see. Ramondre versus San Fran, Dobbins versus KC, or McLaurin.
McLaurin against the Cardinals. Yeah.
All right. From Joey, Tucker Kraft or Tyler Conklin this week? I went to
Tyler Conklin every week. Yeah.
Conklin. We're going.
Yeah, you could just put him in your lineup right now until an injury or something else happens. I actually think he does very, very well this week, to be honest, because Garrett Wilson's going to get shut down.
While we have a lull in the questions here, looking at receiving fantasy points, and this is any kind of receiving fantasy points. It's receivers, tight ends, running backs. Giants have given up the most points. We saw them play already. The Commanders then have given up the next highest. I'm really like this goes to that Elijah Higgins. This goes to like Marvin Harrison Jr., just an absolute smash spot. Like that. The Ravens, they're giving up a ton of points through the air. So let's get some of these high scoring games back.
Just any high. We have like 4 projected over 45 this week. It's going to be terrible.
Let's see. Patrick says my gut is telling me Taysom over Andrews, but I'm already starting Olave and Shaheed. As a Saints fan, don't want to be oversaturated.
Yeah, that's kind of killing your upside. In that case, I'm going Andrews.
Patrick, my man, you are saturated there. I will take that. Yeah, I'm still Andrews. Yeah. Greg, woo! Man, this is just riches and more riches. Lamar or Kyler this week?
It's a great place to be in. You got Lamar going against the Bills, which is going to be a high-scoring game. You have Kyler, who's going to be in the highest point-scoring game, going against the worst defense in the NFL. I'm playing Kyler. As I said earlier in the show, I'm not sitting Lamar. This is the case where everything lines up perfectly for Kyler.
Yeah, I'm going to go Kyler here as well. Oh, all right. Let's see. ETN or Pollard or both, and bench Komet.
Bench Komet.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I think this is a nice bounce back game for ETN. Let's get some of those dump offs there. And then Pollard against Miami, which should be a low scoring game. From Wall Bang, Flowers or Pickens, full PPR.
I want to say Pickens. I just worry that Scott brought up earlier about plays, or at least was talking about in the Discord about how many plays are going to be ran. I just don't see a lot of plays being ran. I don't see a very quick game script happening there. So that puts me more on Flowers, just because I think more plays are going to happen in that game, which gives more opportunity.
I want Flowers. Give me Zed. From Rye. What is the cutoff?
Why are you doing this to us, man?
What? Rye is digging deep. Rye says,
I don't like this.
I'm not just giving you start-sit questions.
Yeah.
Let's use some brain power here. Get some more coffee in the system. I need answers here, guys. Where's the cutoff for Higgins this week? This is Elijah Higgins, if you're just tuning in.
Yeah.
Laporta, Kelsey, Ertz. Where is the line for you guys to take the shot on Higgy Bear today?
The only way, really, the way he's seeing my lineup is I don't like Hunter Henry this week, so he'd be a play over that. But I am going to play Laporta, Kelsey, Ertz over him. Did I have Evan Ingram, and he's injured now, and now I'm worried about Strange or Higgins. I'm playing Higgins, right? That's kind of what the scenarios I'm looking at. I'm still starting who I consider like my better tight ends, more so than just Higgins can go off this week.
Would you even think about playing him over Laporta? No, I couldn't.
No, I'm not doing it over Kelsey even. And I'm not a huge Kelsey guy, but
yeah, I just Ertz has been solid.
Mm-hmm.
Again, another you talk about
revenge. Gets you 4 catches. Yeah, revenge. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, he'll get you 4 catches.
So I would not play him there. I mean, we're talking about tight end 18 range, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
The
guys you don't want to play anyways. This is who we're playing him over.
But Ertz, I'm playing over him, and the other names mentioned, I'll go over Higgy Bear. Olave, RVC. Since Olave is a bit banged up, I'm worried he might be on a limited snap count. Should I start Shaheed over Olave this week?
I'll go Shaheed.
I mean, even when both are healthy, Shaheed.
Look at week 1, week 2.
From Turk, Komet or Laporta?
Laporta.
Beehart, my Commanders aren't commanding shit on defense. No, they are not. But it's making for fun fantasy games.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we want. Shakir or Debo, PPR?
Shakir, because I believe it's going to be a higher scoring game.
Man,
the Patriots defense, it's not the Patriots defense is really good. It's just That game script is going to be rough. It's not, the Patriots aren't going to put up 25 points in the 49ers. So it's like Debo's probably going to get there, but I just like Shakir's ceiling a little bit more. He doesn't have a great ceiling. Like, don't let me get you going on that. Like 15 to 18 points is probably his ceiling.
Yeah.
I know where I'm going.
As gross as it is, I will go Shakir over Debo. All right, Scott. This one is brutal, but Justin Herbert or Tyler Huntley?
I have a feeling that Scott's doing this just so he could screen grab it later. I don't care. I'm not, dude, Justin Herbert, the re-injury risk is really there. I'm going Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree. And really it comes down to the rushing upside with Tyler Huntley, right? Oh God.
Just say it so we're both.
No, I'll go Huntley.
Okay.
I'll go Huntley. All right. 10 minutes left. Any other questions here? What do we got? Oh, looking at rushing points given up. Steelers defense. You're not going to sit him, but I don't like Jonathan Taylor today.
Nope. My favorite plays, like Brian Robinson, is going to be amazing. I really like both backs in the Carolina game. I like Moss. I really like Chuba. There's some really strong running back plays this week to where I don't think we have it all that often. Like, I love Jerome Ford with the Browns. It's just, are the Browns willing, for whatever reason, their passing is so far above expectation, it's crazy. And it's like, dude, Watson sucks. Just give the ball to Ford and Foreman in that backfield.
Carr or Richardson today?
Carr.
I thought this was a serious comment at first. I was like, what? Josh Palmer being back doesn't instill massive confidence in Herbert's upside this week. All right. Well, here's a question. So circling back to earlier this week, what sort of Anthony Richardson deals did you get done this week?
I don't remember the leagues I got him done in, but I did get some. People didn't like it.
What?
Give me 1 second. I'm going to try to find it. I just don't remember what league actually made the trade in, and I don't remember what the trade actually was.
No, I thought you did as well. I tried a few. I don't think I actually got anything done.
I'm trying to remember the quarterback that I got back, and that'll remind me what I did.
Oh my God.
I got Trevor
putting us in the spot here.
Give me 1 second. Fill it for a second, John. Because I don't have a lot of Trevor Lawrence, and that's who I traded for. It's not like Trevor Lawrence is any better.
I did see that.
Yep. I just got to find it now.
Yeah, you look. I'll answer this question here.
Oh, I got it.
Let's see. All right, from Brian. Worthy, Jennings, J-Mo, Ridley, Gabe Davis start 2. Gabe Davis is out. No, Gabe Davis is out of my lineup. Let me clarify there. So I don't want Gabe Davis. I don't want Jennings. Oh, give me Worthy and Ridley. No. Give me Worthy and Jameson. No.
Okay.
Give me Worthy and Ridley.
All right.
I changed 10 times.
Yeah.
Brian,
start 2. I'm going Ridley and Worthy. Yeah.
There you go. I flipped and flopped, and Mitch comes in and saves the day. All right. What was the trade?
Go back to Ryan C's question. This is the trade that I did. Yeah, I got Trevor Lawrence and a 26 first. I traded away Richardson, Irving, a third, and a couple fourths. And I'm not like a Trevor Lawrence guy. It's just he got paid. He's going to be the starter next year. I have a 26 first. It's a pretty big rebuild. So I have 9 first over the next 2 years. I'm okay doing that.
That's fine. It's
like exactly. That's the thing.
The
problem is I'll tell you right now, nobody wants Anthony Richardson. No one is trading for him. So someone actually DM'd me. They were like, hey, how are you moving him? I'm like, you have to get another asset that people don't like and be willing to get stuff added to him in order for the trade to work. Because no one is giving you no one's going to give you Purdy plus something for Richardson. It's just not happening. I don't care what the values say. It's not happening.
Well, and that's why too, like with the Mahomes discussion, and we have a few more questions we're going to get to here, but with the Mahomes discussion, people were trying to pivot off of him and pick up a Jaden Daniels type player. And I'm like, I even said that you have to find players that people are down on, that are either not producing or they are producing, but like the name value doesn't necessarily carry the same weight. You can't be going after these guys that are just so highly regarded.
That everybody else likes.
Everybody wants them. That's not going to get done.
Yeah.
Like somebody in the DD Discord, they dropped in like Mahomes in a second, I think, for Daniels in a first. I might be messing it up, but like that's not going to get done.
No, it's not.
And like Mahomes is interesting because I offered Mahomes for Daniels. That didn't get done. I then offered Daniels for Mahomes somewhere else. That didn't get done. Just to kind of see. All right, Big Diaz. Always appreciate you, Big Diaz. Swift or Pirine?
Pirine.
Jackie Moon, Flex 3, Rashad White, Pittman, Pitts, Kirk, Waddle, PPR, extra half point for tight ends. I don't want Pittman.
Keep the Pitts out. Start the other 3.
Okay. Rashad White, Christian Kirk, Jalen Waddle. I'm good with that.
Yep.
Baker or Purdy in your QB2 slot today? I'll go Purdy.
I'm going Baker. Yeah.
Are you? So we got Baker against the Eagles. Purdy against the Patriots. Well, let's get our tiebreaker here. Dynasty Daddy, start sit. Purdy. Baker. See, I always like this. Purdy. Mooney or Addison? Mooney.
Yep, hammer.
Mooney. All right, we got 3 minutes, a few more questions to get to here. That's a trade question. Appreciate the comment though, Ryan. From Seb. Amari Cooper or Deontay Johnson?
Cooper because he's fully healthy.
All right. Garrett Wilson or ETN?
I'm not playing Garrett Wilson if I don't have to. ETN.
From Cliff. There's a trade. A-Rich, Donnie Mitchell, Jalen Warren for Penix, Tank Dell, Javonte in 25 second.
That's where we are.
That's where we are. I think I like the A-Rich side, but that's where we are. Nobody wants Anthony Richardson. From Brian, Ramondre Stevenson or J.K. Dobbins? Oh, J.K. Dobbins, ETN. Need 2.
ETN's in, right?
Yeah.
So then you got Dobbins, Stevenson. Stevenson has the receiving upside. I think you go Stevenson.
So was it Stevenson and Dobbins? Yeah. I'm good with Stevenson. Tyreek or McLaurin?
McLaurin.
Olave, JSN, Jacoby, start 2.
JSN and Myers. Just worry about the hamstring.
I'll go JSN and Myers. Olave is going to be my thorn in the side this week.
Olave's going to be tough. If his hamstrings are fine, he's going to eat and he's going to be fine. It's just before the game, we have no idea.
Specific question from Nick. I'm in a tight matchup today with my best friend. We'll see if they're your best friend after this matchup. Full PPR with 0.25 per first downs. He's playing Love today. Is it worth flexing Dobbs over Najee to cancel out his points? I would go Najee.
Najee 100%. Yeah. I mean, if they were missing Reed and Watson, yeah, that's probably a play to make, but not with so many pass catchers back there right now.
From Franz, Michael Wilson or Jawan Jennings? Michael Wilson for me.
Yeah. I think that's the first time I said Michael Wilson in 4 weeks now.
From Big Diaz, Olave, Waddle, Worthy, Keon, Lockett, Akers, start 1 running back and 1 wide receiver. Akers is the only running back.
Yeah, that's the only running back I'm seeing. And then Keon.
Okay.
I like how you don't answer them when they're tough. I've noticed.
Sometimes I don't have to.
Yeah.
Waddle or Garrett Wilson?
Waddle.
I'm going to go Garrett Wilson there. And then Mitch, final question, 90 minutes in from B Hart. And no better fitting way here to end than with Elijah Higgins.
Welcome to tight ends in 2024.
Elijah Higgins, Colby Parkinson, or Hunter Henry?
Elijah Higgins.
All right. Hopefully everybody enjoyed.
John, answer the question.
I'll take Elijah Higgins.
Okay.
All right. And then Dalton or T-Law? Dalton.
All
right. Hopefully everybody enjoyed this week's episode of Winning the Week. We really appreciate everybody that tunes in on a weekly basis. Drop a like. We appreciate that as well. Got a few super chat comments this week. We're appreciating a lot today.
That's what we do.
All right. That's the word of the hour. But for Mitch, I'm John. We'll catch everybody next Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And then we run for 90 minutes. And then Mitch, myself, and Dan, we will be back with another weekly episode of Dynasty Theory. We'll catch everybody in the DD Discord today. Have a great Sunday and good luck winning the week.